Alright, so I'm Gabriel Anderson, and I'm from Troop 730, and I just got my Eagle Scout rank in 2018 in October, but I just had my Eagle Court of Honor on January 10th of 2019.
Or 12th.
Or sorry, 12th. And so it's just kind of a reflection on what I did. So for me, when I was preparing this stuff, you have to, there's a lot of important stuff that you get from your Scoutmaster that, like, for example, I got in an email, and then I had the email, but I never really quite addressed it, because I thought, I was always told that for the Court of Honor, the Scout kind of lays back, but I learned, like, about a week or two beforehand that there was actually a lot of stuff that you still have to be responsible for. So that's good. When it comes down to making your own script and things like that, there's many different templates and versions, and some people feel like they have to put in certain things or other things, but you can put in nothing except for the program information, or you can put in a whole bunch of other stuff.
This is actually the program, not the script, even though we're talking about.
Well, they're both, but yeah. And so, for example, at the very end, I put in something about my Eagle project, and as you saw at the front, I put in stuff about my merit badges and ranks and things. And so it's just kind of fun stuff for people to read when they're there, and interesting information.
And we chose to do this. This is all done, but you can just from the Scout store, and we have in the Eagle Court of Honor, they have just external sheets, and you can make just the internal parts if you want and staple those inside. So that's what a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm. And then also, it's important to remember
crazy rabbits are over there.
Yeah. For me, when I was making my script, it's kind of at first seems a little bit scary when you want to do more than just the bare minimum, because you're thinking, oh no, that's going to be more planning and more organization, and okay. And it's actually, you can actually, for me, I had County Supervisor Linda Parks come, and she gave me, and this is from the city of Thousand Oaks, but she also gave me, I got many commendations that some they just were given to me just because of my achievement, and some I asked for, and they gladly gave to me. And so I got to have Linda Parks speak at my Court of Honor.
And those are in the email your Scoutmaster provides. There's a link to suggestions for, like, the president or congressional representatives
or
things
something.
like that.
Yeah. But then you can also, it's your Eagle Court, so you can have whoever you want talk, and you can plan it out the way you like. For me, I also did this thing called mentor pins, which you get one with your standard kit when you get your Eagle. But it's basically a way to recognize some adults in your scouting life who have kind of, as the name implies, been your mentor and teacher and counselor throughout your scouting career, and it's just a good way to recognize them and give them kind of a nice shiny medal, because their adult uniforms are a lot more empty than the scout uniforms. So it's a nice thing for them to have.
And so when you do your ceremony, you have your life rank patch on, and so then this gets pinned on you, and then later on after you sew that on. But so this is what you get, and then everybody gets an Eagle neckerchief, but you opted to get that one with the slide.
Yeah, I got the more
what do you
like.
think about the slide?
I got the more different one, and it's not. It looks really nice. I like how it looks. But it's definitely a lot more difficult just to slide up and down, because it has two holes on the top and one on the bottom. So like when you're bringing it off, it's not too bad. But when you're bringing it up, you have to like work really hard.
Because instead of a typical just in the back, it goes through a hole and a hole, and then it comes out this bottom hole.
Yeah.
Cool. What else? What else was did you wish you knew before you got into the planning stage for this?
It's definitely a good thing when you have someone like your MC or other super important speakers to let them know more in advance, just as a courteous thing, because I didn't exactly give my MC and other speakers a whole lot of time in advance, and I was very lucky that they all helped me out and decided to do that. But yeah, it's really good to just have that all out in advance and just be thinking even before you start planning, even when you're on your Eagle and stuff, and maybe just jot down, you know, who would I want to give a mentor pin, who would I want to have be my MC, who would I want to have, you know, talk about me, who would I want to have give me this award and that kind of thing. And it's just important to keep in mind that it's all about it's a way of bringing everyone together to recognize your achievements. It's not like some test you've already gotten the majority of the work over with. This is just your kind of final hurrah, celebrating your Eagle rank.
Cool. And for 7:30, we have the Eagle Court of Honor box. What was in there? Or what is in there?
Everyone put in their different, what do you call it? Programs.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to kind of have a different taste of each of those. We put in these, I guess, decoration things for if people who have receptions. And these are...
Do people use these or no?
Yeah, that's one thing that people can do.
Okay.
That's like one of the events that some people do.
We might need a larger box. There's a cupcake tier
Cupcake holder display thing.
And then I put a sign in here that says Eagle Scout Court of Honor.
So we did cupcakes because you didn't want a big cake, right? So we did cupcakes.
Little
Yeah.
cupcakes.
Mm-hmm. And cool. And then you can just return whatever you don't use into the box.
There's a
and then people
stapler
can use it
too
again.
for the programs.
There's-
Oh yeah, an elongated stapler.
Some other tools. That's good.
I would say for the moms and dads that have to buy things at the Scout store, I would go early because when we went, the woman said, "Oh yeah, I haven't restocked in a while," and granted it was kind of around the holidays and things. So if you go early enough, they could always special order you stuff that they don't have in the store. We just ended up getting blue vinyl tablecloths, and I have those you can borrow. I also have extra cups and plates and things, and happy to help you out with that. They don't fit in the box. And and I'd say for the guest book, if you can hold up the guest book, Gabriel,
Oh yeah.
it'd be good to have someone who's kind of in charge of getting people to sign that. Ours actually did get signed, but at first I thought, oh, only a few people signed it, but then you see that the page got flipped a couple times, I guess. And granted, we had a super rainy day. This was happening, but there are more signatures if you go in here.
So having a scout station just on that, inviting people to sign when they first walk in would be good.
And we should have put ours
I
out.
think what would be a good thing is you kind of have like a enter here, and then you have 2 or 3 scouts like sign this, and then after they sign it, then they hand them a program and can either show them to their seats or direct them to where to go.
At a place, some people bring cards and things because they only come to if you have a party somewhere else, some people will just come to the ceremony and not to the party.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would also say you might want to, when you have people RSVP, maybe have a place indicated they're coming to the reception or just to the event, because we didn't really know.
Oh yeah, that's a
the
huge
people that are in
thing.
the troop tend to tell you because they know, but people from outside didn't necessarily know. So if you're trying to plan for food and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other last suggestions for somebody that's starting
Can
to
you
plan
talk
there?
for the flags? We bought these frames at Michael's, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
These are for the flag, so you can have, if you want, to have a flag flown for you over the state capitol and or over the U.S. Capitol, and that information is in the or is linked to from the information that your scoutmaster will send you.
And I would not wait till the morning of the ceremony to fold the flag into the frame.
I don't know what your mother's talking about. What your mother's talking about.
And I would also say that it's good to go. I've gone to other courts of honor, but I hadn't gone to one since we were planning our own, and it would have been good for me to attend one more recently, just so I could remember the flow of things. Since it would be kind of a good dress rehearsal for you for your own family's court of honor.
And then one last thing that my mom took a huge initiative on was we kind of put, because everyone usually, it's a tradition, just hang up all your patches and kind of present them to everyone to show you, like, from the beginning to end, all the things you've done. It's just a cool indicator of that. And what I did was we went to Joann's and got these little wooden pallet kind of sign type things, or I guess you can use them as signs. And we had these different various stick-on things, but some of these bigger patches especially really don't stick on that well. And I'm not even, all of these ones on here right now probably aren't all solidly on. So we kind of are going to have to go back and put a few new patches on that I couldn't find at the time of the Court of Honor and didn't get a chance to put on here. and just the ones that fell off as well.
So you're talking about so usually everybody displays stuff, and a lot of times people put it on a cloth or they sew it onto a vest or something, and you just opted to put it on a display board type thing with sticky tape.
And I do see why it's easier to put it on a cloth than vest thing.
And if we had bought, but this looks, I think people thought this looked really nice.
Yeah.
And if we had a little more time, I would have. I think I was trying to go spare on some of the stuff, so that's why they're not as stuck down. But if I had gotten an ample supply, then I could have used it more liberally. But we'll redo that. And this is what the blank board looks like.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Any other suggestions or ideas that you guys have for folks planning?
Boys mostly drink root beer. They don't drink Coke or Sprite.
Yeah.
And they don't drink water either. I guess they drink water.
And also, it's very important to have food ready the moment people get here, because just from past experience of other receptions, and then also in doing ours, it's much nicer. What we did was we had our food people arrive here a little bit early and get started, because we had a huge pizza oven truck thing, and so then they already had some pizzas going and already had the oven warmed up by the time people were here. And people are hungry, they've been sitting around for an hour or two, and by the point everyone gets in here and then people start bringing in the pizza, it kind of brings everyone together. And yeah, it's just always important also to make sure that you have large amounts of it as well.
Large amounts of food.
Yeah, I personally...
You tell me that scouts eat a lot of food.
I personally didn't manage to get a whole lot of food in my stomach, but that was probably just because I was out and about a lot.
Yeah, as the guest of honor, you're probably going to be more entertaining people.
Yeah.
And and I would say also allow yourself time to have Mr. Quo, if he's available, or whoever, take photos in advance, because that works out nicely, so you can then go into your...
It's kind of like a wedding. It's a little bit like a wedding in some of the aspects of stuff.
I'm marrying myself.
Yes.
So.
Just because you want to limit the amount of time between the reception and the event.
Yeah, and we had a slideshow, and we also played that after at the reception after, which is also a nice thing if you guys.
I think
can
you posted
do
the
that.
slideshow on YouTube, which maybe was a little easier than some methods.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, good job, dude. Congratulations. And hope that whoever, good sneeze, right? That's good. And whoever is working on their Eagle Court, you guys can always ask Gabriel for ideas or help or whatever. And good luck on your Eagle Court.